The 2026 Eurocup-3 season visited Imola for the third race meeting of the year. Both qualifying sessions would see championship leader James Egozi take pole position, poised for at least another win this weekend. His teammate Dall'Agnol lined up alongside him and made a boisterous move to defend from the very start, that would land him in hot water later on. The first incident of the weekend would come at the very first corner, with the number 7 of Fagali and the 33 of Rafael Parard coming together. The Lebanese driver would be in the gravel and out of the race, which was neutralised moments later with a safety car. Once things got back underway, it was Bart Harrison making early moves, but this mistake would cause contact with the 84 of Gennaro Trapper and send him into the barriers. From another angle, you can see Harrison skip across the curbs and then have a heart-in-mouth moment as he rolled back across the track in front of the field. The safety car was out again, and drivers would have a second restart to contend with. During said restart, Gianmarco Pradel and Keanu Alazzari got very friendly at Tamburello, leading to both having excursions through the gravel. Alazzari would have to visit the pits with a front left puncture, dropping him out of contention. The battles raged on through the rest of the race, Patrick Huizenrode here getting overtaken by Kasper Stuka down the start-finish straight. Push to pass was very much in effect. Bart Harrison's busy race continued. A move on Edouard Borgna here didn't work into Variante Alta, but it was actually the Frenchman that came off worse in the end. More drama at Tamburello, this time Feldman going straight on while under attack from Benjamin Beckley, but managing to recover without any damage. At the very front though, there was heartbreak for James Egozi. A fuel pump failure would see him grind to a halt at the top of the hill and into retirement. The American was surely on for another race victory, but instead, as the safety car came out, could only limp home into the pits. With one more safety car restart to do and mere minutes left to go, drivers were fired up to get results across the line. Everybody ran nose to tail trying to find an edge, but eventually a great scrap would break out for the final podium positions between the Griffincorp drivers of Powell and Huizenrode and Technicar driver Kasper Stuka. The race win on the road would go to Heitor Dall'Agnol, but the penalty from the start would demote him to third and hand victory to MP Motorsport's Ian Eichmans, with Alex Powell claiming third. The sprint race in the Eurocup-3 series at Imola would bear witness to a scary scene off the start. Enzo Tanvanitschkel stalled from third on the grid and was collected by Feldman. Also involved were Panetta, Bostandiev and Fiorentino, but luckily all drivers were uninjured and able to walk away. The second angle showing the devastation caused by the impact and the damage to Feldman's machine. The race was understandably red flagged while all of the mess was cleaned up. At the restart, Huizenrode played it to perfection and cleared away from Kota, while drivers scrambled for the positions behind, jumping into the slipstream at the earliest opportunity. Heading down into Tamburello, there was contact between Parard and race 1 winner on the road, Dall'Agnol. Luckily, the field would avoid the stricken number 33 while it sat on the apex, but the Brazilian would retire with damage to the front right, bringing out the safety car a second time. There was damage also to Bart Harrison's front wing, a very difficult day for him and Double R. The Dallara Stradale safety car was called upon again, and so was Huizenrode's restart capabilities. Kota stayed much closer to him this time, bringing Stuka and Trapper with him, but there was to be another incident at the tail end of the field. After slowing down to avoid a car ahead, Renzo Barboi would get rear-ended on the exit of the chicane, and everybody behind did their best to avoid him, but Parard would arrive on the scene too quickly and hit the 31 hard in the side, causing another safety car. Again though, luckily, both drivers were perfectly okay. Another restart beckoned and there was drama straight off the bat. Stuka and Trapper got out their elbows and exchanged positions in a fantastic fight through the first couple of corners. Just behind them, another brilliant fight broke out between Alazzari and race 1 winner Eichmans, showing us how it was done through the Villeneuve chicane. They would certainly have an audience though, as Stuka, Egozi, Powell, Strauven and Tunion all wanted some of the action. the latter making this great move stick down into Rivazza. Laps later and Al-Azhari was off again at Tamburello, this time causing left rear suspension damage to the car and scaring Pradell off into the gravel. The Emirati was having a very tough weekend, hoping that Sunday would be better than Saturday. Huizenrode held on brilliantly at the front, extending a gap back to Kota, who would be followed home by Gennaro Trapper in third, but again penalties came into play, demoting the former down to 10th position. The final race of the weekend at Imola for the Eurocup-3 series would see James Egozi back on pole position, wanting to take some decent points away from Italy. He had his teammate Rafael Parard alongside him, who had endured a tough weekend so far. Everyone kept it clean through Tamburello for the most part, but this trip through the gravel for Lorenzo Campos would damage the left rear suspension of the car. He tried to continue on, but unfortunately, as the field sped away, he was unable to get the car off track and behind a barrier, so would bring out the first safety car of the day. The field continued to fight right until the last moments though, before the race was neutralised. As we got underway again, Al-Azhari and Kasper Stuka got very feisty, exchanging places multiple times. This move down into Tamburello would hold the position for Stuka, while the DriveX cars were ganging up on Benjamin Beckley, who showed us how to hop, skip and jump the car through the Villeneuve chicane. Wheel-to-wheel action here as Panetta tried a move on sprint race winner Huizenrode to no avail. A big slide for Alex Powell showed René Lammers there might be a way through later. There was a moment here for the 31 of Renzo Barboy, who would continue on. Another trip to the gravel here for Kolovos, who was doing his best to get into a point-scoring position. Before long, Kasper Stuka was mounting a charge for second place down the start-finish straight, but this excellent defensive move from Rafael Parard showed exactly why he would deserve to hold the spot until the end. Back to the Villeneuve chicane and another slide, this time the 44 of Rayan Caretti. Panetta would make a lovely move stick down the inside into Rivazza, just like his teammate Nacho Tunion had done the day before. Lammers was enjoying watching Fagali and Pradell take lumps out of each other, a thrilling battle that would last a good couple of laps. Nacho Tunion had made some very good progress so far through the race and going through the field, and enjoying some exciting racing along the way, but all of that would come to naught as he suffered a left rear puncture and would retire from the race right before the end. Devastating stuff for the Spaniard, who was on a real charge here in Eurocup-3. James Egozi held on at the sharp end to take his 4th win of the season, making up for what was a very trying Saturday for the championship leader. Second would go to his teammate Rafael Parard, with Kasper Stuka in third, both getting their first podiums of the year, while Keanu Al-Azhari was happy to hang on to fourth after what was a very busy final race of the day.